So I'm joined by Jack Pearce after watching the Rocks lose at home 4-2 to Folkstone Invicta. Jack, after going 2-0 up, is that disappointing for you and the management?
I think that's a bit of an understatement. Is it disappointing? Of course it's disappointing. More not because we got beat, because I was actually delighted with some of our football tonight in possession. Unfortunately, we've had it all season. Because of the way and the style we play, we do tend to, on too many occasions, at vital moments, give the ball away unexpectedly in our half of the field. And if you give the ball away unexpectedly in your half of the field, unfortunately, against good sides, you will concede goals. And tonight, I thought they created some dangerous moves through their football, but I don't think they actually scored one goal through their actual open play football. All 4 goals were basic errors by us. And that obviously is a main, especially when it's the senior players. I mean, to say Robbo has been a tremendous asset to the club, but when you're 2-0 up, at least it's bad enough because goals change people's attitudes, they change, everything about the game. People change when you concede or when you score. And when you're 2-0 up and you're buoyant, and then you hand them a goal like Robbo did, it's soul destroying. It's both soul destroying, not just for your own team, but it's such a big lift to the opposition because there's no danger. He's got the ball, he's got nobody near him, and he just picked a bad pass. That's football. It happens. But we don't get many because not many people try to play it from the back as we do. We don't enjoy that luxury too much. And the second goal, Joe Cook, which I felt for him a bit because it is difficult when you move from centre of defence into centre midfield. But he was not aware of people around him. And because normally when you're playing centre half, you've got everything in front of you. When you play in midfield, you got people from 360 degrees. And main job should have been not trying to hook it on or anything like that. Should have been just getting to the ball first and making sure none of their players, if their players get to it, they got to foul him to get the ball. And then from there, bang, and we're 2-2 from 2-0 up and really on top, crowd behind you, team feeling good, and suddenly the psychology is you're 2-2. You come out second half, and I think it's fair to say we dominated possession second half. Dominated possession. If I'm frustrated about something, it is not creating enough clear-cut chances. I'll get very frustrated because on 2 occasions when we had them at our mercy to get a clean break on goal, the wide players were half a yard offside. And that should never happen. I can understand if you're slower than the other person. I can understand the fact you need to be a yard to nick it if you can. But the linesman's going to see that on every occasion. Yeah. So you're not going to get away with it. And that one where they slipped one inside for Harrison Brook and he's offside, I mean to say, he'd have got to the ball if he'd have been 2 yards onside. Yeah. But it's just lack of thought. And Geordie had it on a couple of occasions on the left. You play him in with his pace, he'd be in on goal. But he just can't sustain concentrations levels. And we have a major issue with young wide players because some of them, you can pass them all the information you want. But unless they actually absorb it and start trying to put it into practice. And so we come out the second half and we have a situation, as I said, you go through the goals, the first one, was it a foul or not? But it don't matter, the referee's given a foul. Whether it is or not is immaterial. But you shouldn't, from a free kick, they should not be allowed to have a centre forward who's played central all night have a totally free header. It's just someone has gone to sleep. somebody has switched off. What don't matter what the quality of the ball in was, which was a very good quality cross.
It was.
Nobody should be able to have a free header in our box when it comes from a set play. I can always understand it when there's a lot of open play and movement of players and somebody loses their marker and they get involved. But from a dead ball situation, you shouldn't be in that situation in that time. And what we do forget is that when we were I don't know if it was 2-1, I think it was 2-1, Robbo went from Villa, he could have been the hero.
Great double save.
But it's a poor finish by Robbo. It's a side foot. The only way he's going to stop the ball going in the net is if it's on the ground. He only has to lift it. He's got 8 foot to get it up. He's got 8 foot to get up in the air from 2 yards? It's a poor finish. And it's little, when you're playing top teams, and they are a top team, those little incidents are the difference between winning and with the same performance, we're all delighted and singing our praises, or you sit here dreadfully disappointed, because we've conceded 4 goals at home. Again, and all 4 goals were self-inflicted. Not by great open play by them. Just totally, utterly self-inflicted by players doing things that really you don't expect of them.
Well,
and the last goal, I've kept on to Amadou now, but stay in your goal. And unfortunately, he don't listen. And it's a shame because he's a lovely keeper. He's a great goalkeeper. I love him to bits. But he has a problem listening to people. And you should be on the edge of your box and alert. But you shouldn't be where he was.
Yeah.
And it's a total cock-up down in the left-hand corner of the pitch. Because if you analyse the goal, when we've got comfortable possession of the ball, 20 yards from the corner flag, under no pressure, you don't expect 25 seconds later, great finish by the lad, but you do not expect to be picking the ball out the net when you've got the ball by the floodlit pylon in comfortable possession on the attack, and suddenly your keeper's 20 yards out of his goal and the ball's nestling in your net. Because at 3-2, that psychology, you only need a second to score with 15, 20 minutes to go. The minute it goes 4-2, most players know it's over. So that psychology, and it kills you. It just kills you. It's just, until we learn, but, I'm absolutely delighted with some of the football tonight. I thought the football was excellent. I thought it was a good game, good advert for the league. Unfortunately, if you're somebody that's only pleased if your team wins, then you will be disappointed. But me as manager, I saw lots of positives. It's the best game Harrison Brooks played for the club.
I was going to go on to that, but you can mention him now.
He was the best. And I've just said in there, and he's been here a long time, that's the best game I've seen Harvey White play since he's been here.
And Harvey White got our Works Radio Player of the Match, and Harrison Brook got the Sponsors Man of the Match.
So those two, and the one other that can't be forgotten because it was a near enough faultless display was Joe Dandy.
Yeah. At the back there, he was doing very well.
Other players had not such good nights. And my job is to consider, can I replace them with better players? Will they improve and stop making these mistakes? And that's it, because Nathan is only 18 playing up front, and he does some really good things, and then he'll go and do something that you expect from an 18-year-old which don't help.
Yeah.
He holds the ball. When he holds the ball up and plays people and then gets in the box, he looks dangerous. When he comes short and he tries to turn or something difficult and loses it, he don't realise at this moment in time that in the preparation area of the field, your job as a central striker is to either retain possession or get a foul. What the sin is if we lose it and it's been a good pass into you. And the other thing is we're not very good in the air as an attacking force, and we put far too many balls up in the air, which make it easy for the opposition to play against us. So, but no, I thought our first half display was good, and we finished up 2-2. I know why we finished up 2-2, but it's poor play. You know, you can't that. And then the second half, the worry for me was that having that much possession, we didn't work their keeper. And once again, both their goals were, in my opinion, avoidable by proper defending. But we're struggling with that at the moment. And but it's been all season. And I don't, as a manager, it's so frustrating.
It must be, yeah.
I don't see too many of the goals we score coming from the opposition making the mistakes we do. Now, I do understand if I say to my team, look, I don't want you to play that way, kick it in their half, then, but I don't want to play football like that.
Well, yeah, Jack, I was going to say, is there any reason why the subs came on a bit late today? I think 80th minute, the double sub. There was a couple of players on the pitch, of course, were blowing a bit. Is there a reason why you didn't bring them on a bit earlier, or...?
You're never sure when a sub comes on if they're going to fit in with it. But we weren't, I'm going to say you're watching as I'm watching and you can tell me. Did you see them in the second half have any sustained pressure?
No, I think no, it's just like what we said on commentary.
So I was not concerned with the fitness levels. But we made, if to be very honest, we most probably did. I did make, not we, because I'll make the decision. I most probably did make the changes 10 minutes too late. But do I think we'd have scored two more in that time, whatever I made? I don't think it was. I thought the team battled hard for me. I was very impressed with the qualities. I'll feel for them more. Me, you know, it's... I'm the manager and it is disappointing, but I feel for players when you put that much effort in and you play that mate of good football, but you concede. If they get 4 goals where they carved us open, I can put my hand up.
Yeah.
But when they're self-inflicted like that, and nearly every one of theirs, we have possession of the ball and we just give it up.
Well, 712 here, attendance, Jack, on a Tuesday night.
It's magnificent. Yeah, it's magnificent. And I feel for them because nobody wants to give them a winning team more than we do. And that's mine and Robbie's job now. And we got to, because some of these players have been making those mistakes since August. And you have to ask yourself, will it continue or will they learn? And we've got to have some patience, but we've got to get ourselves... we most probably got to do something to just change it slightly, because some of the play tonight was incredible.
It was fantastic, and the Harrison Brooks goal, the way he took it, left-footed as well. Yeah. Also, another thing, I don't know if you want to comment about it. Of course, we've heard today about Joe Hancock taking a break from football, of course, just to concentrate on himself for a bit. He seems like quite a strong character, but of course behind the scenes he's struggling a bit. But have we got any update on him? Is he coping okay?
He's coping okay, and I should think it was our conversation this week was a relief. Let's put it this way, it wasn't us that asked Joe. Joe asked us, and we're supportive of him, and we just want to support him, and that's it really.
Well, that's the thing, and of course on behalf of the media team and the fans, we all wish Joe he's
a good lad.
He's a good lad.
He's got a lot of technical football ability, and we brought him in this year. But he's just, unfortunately, he had last year lots of injuries, and he's picked up 3 this year. And it's not. It'd be different if he lived in Bognor, but when you live on the Isle of Wight, there's not much fun in doing that.
Just lastly, FA Trophy game makes a change, a cup game at the Lane. Finally, a cup game at the Lane.
I just hope people don't look at their league position and think that's
definitely not.
That's it's a foregone conclusion. We have to be ruthless.
Well, okay. Jack, we appreciate your honesty, mate. That's a fantastic interview, and we'll see you Saturday, mate.
See you Saturday, cheers. No problem. All the best.